In Hell on Rails, players will attempt to escort their train as far as possible using a variety of weapons and magic spells to fend off demonic forces. This will be a top-down mobile shooter that features elements of tower defense, endless runner, and roguelike games. The train will move automatically along the tracks. Demonic forces will appear and attempt to derail it. Ground forces must board the train in order to do damage, while aerial forces attack from above. But the train's biggest threat is the track monster. This enemy will, upon collision with the train, cause massive damage to it. The player's job is to defeat these enemies and escort the train through the underworld. Players begin the game with their trusty hand cannon. This weapon can fire as quickly as the player can tap and has infinite ammo. Other weapons will appear on screen. Tap to pick them up. The rocket launcher does massive damage to any target that takes a direct hit and splash damage to nearby enemies. Hold down to fire the chain gun, but watch out, it may overheat if fired for too long. Press and hold to charge the laser on a target, then, after it fires, drag across the screen to damage more enemies. Each of the weapons has available upgrades. That means explosive rounds for the hand cannon, cluster bombs for the rocket launcher, chain lightning for the chain gun, and an earthquake effect for the laser. In addition to the primary weapons, players can also use their magic spells. Tap a spell to use it automatically, but then it has to go on cooldown. The first magic spell is the Steam Burst. When surrounded by flying demons, use the Steam Burst to temporarily stun these enemies. When upgraded, this Steam Burst will even damage the demons, and further upgrades will allow the Steam Burst to hurt the ground threats as well. When surrounded by enemies on the ground, the player may opt to use the Cold Dump. The Cold Dump will repel borders and damage any ground demons that come into contact with it. Upon upgrading, this power can even affect flying demons. The third magic spell, the Train Horn, is very effective for dealing with track monsters. Activate it to knock the monster back, giving you more time to defeat it. Upgrades will allow this to knock back the other demons as well. The train will periodically pull into a train station. Here, the player will be awarded 3 upgrade points and some repairs for their train. Players could opt to upgrade their weapons, magic spells, or the train's defenses, or they could opt to hold on to their upgrade points to purchase more expensive upgrades at the next train station. There is no finish line in Hell on Rails. Instead, the players will attempt to escort their train as far as possible to earn a spot on the leaderboards. The demonic forces will eventually overwhelm and derail the train. However, the player's progress is not all lost at this point. Upon starting the next game, the player can choose one of 3 randomly selected upgrades from the previous game to bring with them in their next run through Hell. It will be important for the developers to perfect the game's core mechanics. This game's various weapons, magic spells, upgrades, and enemies means the design team will have their hands full balancing all the stats and attributes to make the game fun and challenging. This game will be an ideal candidate for the mobile market. However, the design team may have little to no experience in building a game for cell phones. I have attempted to convert a Unity project to a mobile device, and I understand that there are many challenges and obstacles associated with doing that. Thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed my presentation for Hell on Rails, one crazy train ride through the underworld.